Thank you so much, Aaron. I'm Maria Corradini, and I have the pleasure of being the RL Chair in Food Quality. Today we have with us Felix Cheung, which is the CEO of Ixon Food Technology, and he will introduce us into a novel way to prepare and make foods that are nutrient-rich, fresh, without additives, and don't require refrigeration. So without further ado, and since Ahmed has already warned us, that we should not use our nerd mode, I think that we can get Felix to explain us a little bit more about this.
Thank you so much, Maria, and thank you so much for University of Guelph and Evan for inviting me to this event. It's such a pleasure to be here. I flew all the way from Hong Kong, firstly, I'm a plasma physicist and a food scientist. Over the last year, we've been developing a technology that I hope one day may win us a Nobel Prize. It's a food packaging that allows us to store meats, seafood, ready meals at room temperature without refrigeration. It's something that my co-founder Elton and I have been developing over the last 10 years. This is Elton, my co-founder. We met when we were studying at our master's degree in food science at Hong Kong Baptist University. Actually, a little bit more about myself. So I was born in Hong Kong. I moved to Australia when I was 8. I studied there for 20 years. I studied plasma physics and got my PhD at the University of Sydney. And then my first job was working as a science editor at Nature magazine. I worked there for 7 years. I told myself, wow, I don't want to be a publisher. So what can I do with all the knowledge that I've gained from reading all the frontier science at Nature? So that's why I decided to study another master's degree in food science at Hong Kong Baptist University. There I met Elton, and also for our final year project, I told myself, there's so many problems that we need to solve in the world, like climate change, food insecurity. But you can't just have surface solution. You need something like really groundbreaking. So for our final year project, we started studying the microbial risk of sous vide food. So if you're into cooking, you would know that sous vide is like a low temperature cooking technique. That's what most Michelin-starred restaurants use. We look into controlling bacteria at 60 degrees Celsius, and we ultimately came up with a completely new technology called ASAP, Advanced Sous Vide Aseptic Packaging. So here is a Chinese barbecue pork that we packed last month. Thanks to our technology, the freshness of this pork will not change for the next 2 years. This is a roast chicken. I brought this to Toronto through San Francisco, Las Vegas, and then this was packed in July. So how different is this technology? So next slide. Oh, by the way, so we can do a lot of things, not just roast chicken, not just Chinese barbecue pork. We can do like dim sums, pizza, dumplings, like really, really crazy stuff. Even like onigiri, like things that I wouldn't think would be possible when I first started doing this project. So the way ASAP works is, traditional retort, we put everything in a can and then we heat it to 121 degrees Celsius to kill all the bacteria and spores. I asked myself, why can't, this is like putting everything into a microwave, right? So you cook everything in one bowl, so of course everything will taste bad. So I asked myself, is there a more deconstructive way to, kill the bacteria, package the food so it's shelf stable, but yet everything tastes great? So we came up with a deconstructed method where we first cook the food under sous vide temperature, so 60 degrees Celsius. So for example, the Chinese barbecue pork, we would sous vide it for 2 hours, but now we actually have a way to accelerate the process, so it's only 30 minutes. And then for most of the pristine meats, like whole muscle cut meats, the bacteria and spores only reside on the outside of the meats. So we got several methods to heat just the surface, not the interior, but just the surface, to 160 degrees Celsius for about 1 minute. That has enough killing capacity to kill all the bacteria and spores. So basically achieving the same thing as retort, but not affecting the interior. So you won't make the meat dry and mushy. And then finally, this is the hardest part, the aseptic packaging. If I knew it was this difficult, I probably wouldn't start this project. But it's good to stay naive. That's, you know, you go onto a mountain, you climb, and then you realize, wow, you know, how this mountain is really high. So aseptic packaging means packaging under very clean condition, like without bacteria. So around the world, the pioneer in aseptic packaging is the company called Tetra Pak. They can do aseptic packaging for all liquid foods. We are the first company that can do aseptic packaging for solid food, including meats and seafood. And we created the aseptic isolator, which is a machine, that, an equipment that's very much needed to create that sterile environment where we continuously transport the pre-sterilized meats and seafood into an isolated environment, and then continuously packaging it and then outputting it. That's that's actually one of the hardest things to achieve. So we also solved that problem over the last 8 years, and in 2022, it was also still during the time of the COVID. We were very lucky. We were able to join a Canadian accelerator program called Creative Destruction Lab Rockies, based in Calgary. They help startups that are tech-based with technology that is highly scalable and it's going to make a huge impact on the food ecosystem. And we had like really celebrity level mentors like Alison Sundstrom, who's here today, and also Professor Michael Gansel from University of Alberta, helping us, trying to bring the technology to Canada. We opened our office in Edmonton. We were trying to tap into, a lot of the grant fundings in the Canadian ecosystem, but then, we spent 1 year trying to chase for grants and also customers. Number one, we found out that regarding the grants, we are eligible, but we are not competitive because of our because we're really a Hong Kong company, which is really unfortunate. And then the other thing is, in hindsight, I realized that we've been chasing all the wrong customers in Canada. So we were speaking to all the major meat processors, seafood processors, and then we couldn't close a deal. And then I realized why. It's because they sell raw, they don't sell cooked. So we have to evolve in order to survive. So today, you see that we are doing like really complex ready meals. We are also doing like fresh pet food. We are doing senior soft meals. So old people, sometimes they have problem swallowing, and we can create like, shelf-stable, convenient options for them that is healthy, easy to eat, and it tastes exactly like the things that they've been eating during their childhood. And today, we have a pilot center in Hong Kong to develop all these products. We have a commercial line, and this time I go back to Hong Kong. I have to build a 100-ton per day chicken feed line in Macau. Why chicken feed? It's because it's one of the most consumed proteins of Chinese. So, Brazil, Australia, Canada, Japan, they ship all their chicken feed to China, but there's import tariffs. So using our technology, if we package this product in Macau, it will be tariff-free, and that will allow us to ship all these products, the chicken feeds, to China with no tax, with no cold chain. So we are slowly learning the value of our technology. Thank you.
Well, we can see that. We can see the lack of passion that Felix has about his technology, and I imagine that all of you have significant amount of questions for him. We have been talking, for the last 3 hours, and finally, I think that we are getting to a point that we are understanding, all the capabilities of this technology. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you.